Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. We are back for another episode of the Real Housewives of Miami. And before we get into, and this is hold on, let's see, hold on. You already know what I be doing and how I do things. No, I got you. Hold on. It is episode 20 and Spring Reunion Part 3. And before we get into it, let me tell you about what's been going on around here, and then we'll get into the review, because honestly, this actually will be a short review, because respectfully, it could have been 2 parts. I know we say it all the time, but in this case, it really could have been 2 parts. Part 3 was a lot of filler. And I know a lot of people like how this season went overall. I feel like, no, I didn't. I really didn't. So I think there needs to be some changes for next season. I know not everyone agrees with that. I feel like people's decisions on that is split. And sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to wear my hair. Do I want to wear it where I have it on the side here? Because I always have it in the middle. I always see the middle thing. Oh, it works either way. Okay. I was just curious. Sorry, we'll go back to the middle because that's what I'm used to. Anyway, but yeah, I guess. Okay, so let me get into how this week's went for me. So this week has been really, really busy. Like, I've been working a lot this week, and I thought I was going to be able to go to Chicago Fashion Week this week, and it just didn't happen. I think I'm definitely going to aim to do it next year. And I think I'll have things more planned out and be ready to go. It's just this week was crazy. And then on Saturday, I'm kind of glad I didn't, because on Saturday, I would have had a tough time getting there to one of the Fashion Week locations because the protest was going on, right? And I actually was supposed to be I was going to do the protest actually, but I went out Friday night and enjoyed myself a little too much. And I was not cool for most of yesterday. So it didn't happen. It did not happen. But this restaurant I went to on Friday where things got a little out of hand, I will definitely be coming back because I had good kiki. I sat at the bar. It was nice. I met someone while I was there too. That wasn't planned. I didn't pay for anything as a result of me being that person. But hey, it was cute. It was fun. It was good kiki. It was a wine bar, and one of my many. See, I think the problem is with me lately is because of everything that's happened this year. I'm trying to do so many different things. Like, I'm part of a foodie group that I'm trying to start. I mean, really, at this point, there's only 2 of us are members, and we're trying to add more people to the membership. It's not even a real membership, but just like going to different places in the city and trying the new food. But sometimes I just do a solo dolo, and that's kind of what I've been doing the past couple days. So last night I did takeout. And so both cases, though, I've just been really, really eating and trying all the new things. So that's what I've been up to. So that's it with the pleasantries. Let's get into the reunion. Because, child, there really wasn't much to it. So let's get it out the way. Also, I am going to share my thoughts of how I think things should go for next season. It's probably not going to be much of a surprise. And it really hasn't changed from, I think, the last time I said this. So anyway, we'll still get into that. But first, we continue where we left off, where the cliffhanger was, I think it was a viewer question to Larsa or Lisa. I think it was to Lisa, actually, asking, was Larsa's comments about her not being in shouldn't be at Milan because her dad is like dying. And Lisa came through in this third part, because really Lisa was just kind of there. And that's kind of how I felt about a lot of the women who are on this set for the reunion. A lot of them were just kind of there. But third part was definitely the Lisa show. This third part was the Lisa show. And she was just basically like, despite how I feel about my dad, there's time that I'm not going to get back now. And you trying to tell me what I should be doing for my grieving process is messed up, which it is. It's definitely messed up. And she was like, and y'all even know my relationship with my dad because I've never shared that with any of y'all. Like, I kept that to myself because you always be saying I complain too much, which, yes, she does, but at the same time, she has a point. It's like, okay, well, if I can't tell you how I'm feeling, then what do you want me to do? I think, and Lisa, what was last or 2 seasons ago, well, really last season, because Lisa was insufferable last season because she was complaining a lot. It's the fact that when she's going through her things at that time, when she was going through her things, she wasn't allowing space for others to go through their stuff with her. So it would be a dialogue. It was definitely like more of a monologue. And it's a very Leo thing. No shade. And because it's never intentional. I feel like most of my Leo friends, and I do have Leo friends, I have a friend who's kind of similar to Lisa right now. I always end up having a Leo friend where it's a similar situation. I can never, because I think Leos love me, but I'm just kind of like, I'm indifferent. I'm kidding. It's a fire sign because I'm an Aries, so we attract each other. But I feel like when it comes to a lot of Leos, especially those who are unevolved and haven't really worked on themselves, they're the center of attention. They're the center of their own universe and no one else exists. So Larsa, to her detriment, did have a little bit of a point when it came to this season and even the past seasons and what some of the other women have been saying. But Larsa just takes everything way too far. And that's the problem with Larsa. And really, that comment about how she should be handling things with her dad was not okay. And I think I even said it during the episode wasn't okay. And so as she's saying everything and just really kind of like speaking her speech, Alexia tries to interrupt her and says, she's like, it's enough now. It's like, oh my God. Alexia, do you think we're sick of hearing about Todd? Because we are. So why can't Lisa say what she needs to say? And really, Lisa has been out the way this season. Like, she actually hasn't been sharing. I really wanted to know more about what Lisa's going through with her dad. And this explains why. Because she just didn't feel like, she felt damn she do, damn she don't. I feel like, and this is where I'm going to get back to that. You already know I'm going to say it. I say it every single time. This is where Dr. Nicole was missed. Because I feel like we would have got more out of Lisa and her talking about her emotions when it comes to her dad during the season if Dr. Nicole was there. And I think what it is with why I used to love Dr. Nicole on the show, there was a safe space with her. Without Dr. Nicole, there's no longer a safe space. And the worst space of safe, like the worst of the worst, is because of Marisol. And we'll get more into that as we get into that segment. But like, long story less long, I'm just going to cut to the chase. Marisol's ruining the show. She's ruining the show that she wants to be a full-time cast member of so badly. She's ruining it with her behavior, and has been, and it's gotten so bad. Anyway, so then as Alexia kind of disgustingly interrupts Lisa gets her together, but then Kiki under her breath's like, oh, we're comparing grief now. And I'm like, Kiki, shut up, girl. Oh, has a mighty have fallen. And those who watched my reviews last season, y'all knew I love me some Kiki. But she is such a disappointment and such a pick-me. It's just disgusting. It's like, you on one hand thank Lisa for you having your relationship with your dad, but then the other hand, now you're going to get on her about how she grieves and her basically pointing out the hypocrisy of Alexia, because that's all she was doing. It wasn't comparing grief. It was called calling out hypocrisy. And maybe you're just that dense and you just can't see the difference. But if you're that dense, I'm kind of just over you being on my screen because I can't anymore. Like, Kiki made it worse with this reunion. I was just so irritated with her and so done. It's like such a disappointment. But anyway, that's kind of what happened there. And then we move on to the Jody and Larsa of it all. So now then we talk about Jody and Larsa, and Lisa opens up again. She's like, yeah, like, Larsa, you going after Jody, accusing him of basically being on, AC, because we all know what that means now based off of what they've been saying on social media and everything. It was really messed up. And it because Jody is like a normal dude who happens to be on the show, who has businesses and whatnot, it was ruining that for him. It was kind of dragging his reputation through the mud. Kind of similar to what Todd is suing about, actually. It was a very similar thing. And Lisa's like, you were causing a lot of arguments where we almost broke up because you decide to try to expose Jody because of your ex-boyfriend's habits. Because let's call a thing a thing. That was a deflection. Because really, I think Larsa was afraid of the girls talking about her ex-boyfriend's habits, and is that a thing? Because you notice we never really get into Larsa's business ever on this show, and there's a reason. She makes sure that we never do get there. The only people that really the only person that would ever kind of go at it with Larsa and trying to get into her things would be Adriana, and Adriana wasn't bothering anyone this season. But yeah, anyway, so then Larsa's like, okay, yeah, I get it. I went too far. And then it was basically kind of a matter of, I can apologize to Jody. I can definitely do that. So we have the break. Then we have like a little bit of a quick break about that. She's like, okay, I will apologize to Jody. And then we have the quick break, and then we get into the next segment. In this next segment, we're talking about Julia and her messiness and her basically being like the bone carrier throughout the whole entire season, because she was. And how she basically, as soon as she got off that plane, went directly to Alexia instead of Stephanie, and then we're talking about her. And from there, we kind of did go into it a little bit where Lisa's like, Julia, you're such a hypocrite. like, you do all these things, but then you basically let go of the fact that your besties didn't go to your God father stuff. Her friends in Marbella. You let that go so quickly, and then out of nowhere, and then Stephanie's like, "Shut up!" Because it did. Child, they were going back and forth, and it was annoying. But what was annoying about this also is this third part, I feel like Andy just lost the plot, because I wanted to elaborate more on what Lisa said. So to me, I feel like Julia kind of got off scot-free this third part, because Julia did a lot of stuff. It wasn't just the two things in the first two parts that she got, handed over about. This third part, that should have been, she should have got her lashings there too, but they kind of let that go. But because, everyone's trying to move on. And then basically then Stephanie makes it about her briefly. She's like, for those who flew on the plane, was it really that bad, the rules? And everyone was like, no, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. And then Marisol chimes in. She's like, being so dramatic, like, I feel like we're going to be held captive and da-da-da-da-da. And looking back, what we saw on camera, I would agree with what Marisol said. But now that we have the full context, because I don't know if y'all watch the after show, I think I mentioned in the episode, there was more that came out in the after show, what really was going on behind the scenes. After they kind of turned off about how Stephanie was acting after the dinner from hell, and how she wanted to assign seats and stuff like that, they then tried to go behind Stephanie's back and tried to make everyone not fly with her. So it was a power move. It had nothing to do with this playing whatsoever. It was a power move. They were trying to make her be small. Even though up front, you have the presentation of Stephanie kind of being obnoxious and annoying. That wasn't the whole story. And so everyone was like, yeah, that's lame. That's a lame excuse. And even like, Andy was like, yeah, no, I would have flew on the plane. Like, it wasn't that serious. And then from there, and again, Marisol got out of that scot-free. Marisol, this whole entire part 3, where they're really trying to get on her, for the most part, she got out scot-free. And that means that, and that's another thing where y'all need to switch production companies for Miami. I don't like how biased the production company is. Because, real talk, the show would be fine without Marisol. The women on the show are polarizing enough where there still will be conflict organically. And not someone who intentionally makes conflict happen, but, hides her hand. And does this very behind the scenes nastiness of it all. It's getting, and I guess that's kind of why with this third part I was just like, why are we even here? Anyway, moving on. So then from there, we talk about the birthday thing with Adriana. And of course, this made it where it became Adriana versus Marisol again. Because Marisol was like, how are you going to be so mad about the age of it all? But then you age shame me during the argument. And I know a lot of people agree with Marisol when it comes to this. But maybe I'm biased. But it's not like Adriana was lying. Even with whatever cleanup she did during this reunion, Adriana looks younger than you. Like, substantially younger than you. And then she's like complaining about how she needs to get knee surgery. Maybe you should lay off the cockies. Maybe you should just start drinking more water. I know. This is like the second or third review where I'm pushing water because I just feel like I don't know what this is, but it seems like a lot of the world population doesn't think you should have water. I'm confused. I'm very confused. Okay. At least in my case, because I am older too, but I'm not as old as I'm of a certain age, but you only see my wrinkles when I make facial expressions. Otherwise, wrinkles where? Do you see it? You don't, because of water. I drank some water. Anyway, so then Marisol and Adriana kind of go back and forth again for the umpteenth time, and then I think they end up going on a break actually this time again. Because they're just arguing about their whole entire history of being on the show. And then the whole entire time, freaking Kiki is being like Marisol's hype man. She's like, she's going to get surgery on her knees. Did you hear her? She's going to get surgery on her knees. And I'm just like, Kiki, shut up. The whole entire time, I'm just like, shut up. She don't need no hype, woman. What are you doing? And honestly, let's be so for real. Marisol, without Adriana, there be no reason for her to be on this show. Because what else does she do? I'm sorry. Marisol, and the whole entire time with this third part, it was just really irritating because Marisol really thinks she's Nene of the show. You're not Nene. You don't have a personality. I was just annoyed. I ain't gonna hold you. I was annoyed. I'm glad though that this is the wrap of Miami of the season. And and you know what, in previous seasons I didn't feel that way, but this season I felt that way, and it's because I am so sick of Marisol. I don't like her. I hope she's on the chopping block, but I don't think she will be. I think Alexia will sacrifice her position on the show just for Marisol to stay. And that's sad. Because I think this cast needs to shake up very, very badly. I feel like Marisol and Alexia is equal to like a Giselle and Robin. Giselle now to me is kind of flourishing, is doing better on the show without Robin. And I feel like we would get a similar situation if we had Alexia without Marisol. I think, and also too, I think Alexia would be friendly with everyone on the show. She wouldn't have this kind of personality where she is being insensitive towards like Elisa. I feel like that is something that Marisol's bringing out of her. So anyway, that's just neither here nor there. But then they actually do go on the break, and then like let's talk about that a little bit. So in the break, Larsa does go to Lisa and Jody's room, and at first she starts playing the victim. Actually, this is right before the break, but then it continues on. And she was just like, I was just really hurt by that year. Not necessarily by them, but she was like, I was just hurt. The breakup was really tough. He was dragging me through the mud in the media, this, that, and this. And side note, I don't remember who said this. I think it was Kim Pyre. Shout out to Kim Pyre. I heard that Marcus Jordan has since entered rehab and has been clean for some time now, which is good. Very, very good. I guess. For what it's worth. I don't know why I just thought about that. But anyway, Jody does, Larsa does eventually, she does apologize to Jody. Hold that thought. Child, I'm sorry I abruptly ended that video ended what I was saying for a second. So I'm about to tell you about this because I don't want y'all to almost get got like I just did. So abruptly, story time. So while I was doing this, I got a call because many of y'all have figured out I use my phone to record because my phone video quality is chef's kiss. Now, once it comes from the phone into my computer, that's where it gets kind of a little dicey or whatever. But my phone stuff is chef's kiss. But anyway, I'm talking, right? I'm like going over the review, and we'll get back to this review because I need to actually recheck where I was even at because I'm completely flustered right now to be fully transparent with you because I almost got scammed. Your girl almost got scammed. And these scammers are getting really, really good now. Super good. And I should have known it was a scam, but they caught me slipping. Because number one, there was a Zelle scam. I don't use Zelle. So that should have been a hit right there. Okay. Leave it alone. And why I answer? You probably wonder why I answered. The caller ID was my bank number. My actual bank telephone number. It was that. And I don't know why I forgot, they don't call you. Usually if you have any fraud or anything like that, they either will send you an email or they will text you and ask for you to call them. That I forgot about. Because again, I wasn't thinking. And this is normally when they get you. They get you when you're not thinking about that stuff. But I still answered. And then I noticed immediately they hung up on me and called me back, but they called me from another Chase number, but it was like a branch number and it didn't make any sense. And I was like, okay, this is suspicious. And I should have probably just like let it go and hung up. But then I'm kind of glad I didn't because this way I can like tell y'all, okay, about this. What they ended up trying to do is they're like, well, do you have a card that ends in yada, yada, yada? It wasn't my card. I think they were expecting me to say, no, my card is da, 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 da. I didn't do that. I was like, that's not my card. That's all I said. That's not my card. And then they were like, okay. Well, you have a couple transactions that are pending that will go through if you don't do anything about this. Again, they're trying to fish. And so they had me try to go into my Zelle and try to send something to them. And right when I was like, okay, I was like, you know what? This sounds like the scam. Okay, I'm going to let you go. Now this is the scam. And they sound very normal and everything, but then right towards the end, when they could tell that I wasn't buying what they were selling, that's when they expose themselves, like scammers always do. And he's like, well, you got to take care of this right away. No bank will tell you have to take care of something right away because they know how to handle it themselves. And another hint about it being a scam is, why do I need to go into my account for you to fix it? You should have access to my account to fix it. So these are all the things: be vigilant, be aware, and all those things. And as I was doing this, I was like, this doesn't sound right. I gave them no personal information, none. So that was one thing that I just kind of was staying aware of. I didn't give them any personal information. And then they try to say, this is someone you need to send it to. This is the bank representative. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And so when it wasn't that, I was like, okay, this is a scam. You're trying to scam me now. So immediately after I got off, after I abruptly hung up on them, because I was like, okay, you're the scam. I will talk to you later. Bye. Like, click. I don't know why. I was so friendly about it. It's weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's the Midwest in me. I don't know how to really be mean unless whatever. Because at the end, I was like, you didn't get anything out of me. And so I immediately, though, and this is, if you are ever at the point where you slip and you almost think you did something, call your bank immediately. So I actually then turn around and call my bank immediately. And they gave me all the things like, yeah, we will never call you. Like, to remind me, like, okay, you would never call me. Because, and the thing is, for those who are older, your bank used to call you when there were issues, but they can't now because of these type of things. That's exactly why they don't call you anymore, because of this stuff. And I told them, like, I think I almost got Zelle scammed. And they're like, sounds like it. And we're like, did you give them any information? I was like, no, I gave them no personal information. And they're like, good. That's very good. And then I was like, as a matter of fact, can you just check to see, do I have any recent activity on my Zelle? Because I know I haven't done anything with my Zelle. That's another thing. I haven't used my Zelle in probably about a year and a half. I don't use my Zelle. Because of these type of things, I use like other parties. I'm not going to even say what I use because that's no one's business. But I don't use Zelle for this reason, because of these type of things. Because if you use the other parties, they also will never call you if something goes wrong. And there's another layer where it has to go through them, and it has to go through whatever institution you use. And I don't always use my main bank's institution. I sometimes use my credit union. I sometimes use my credit card. It's never always the same thing. So I be knowing, yeah, it's just, for me, it's extra layer of protection because of this type of stuff. And y'all should always do this too. So as soon as they're like, yeah, no, I was like, okay, cancel my Zelle. You're not going to get me. Cancel my Zelle. So immediately that got handled. I canceled my Zelle immediately because, yeah, no. You almost got me, you caught me slipping. But I got out of it super quickly. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So just to let y'all know, especially with the holidays coming near, this is the new scam where, like, even someone like me who normally doesn't fall for this stuff, I almost fell for it. So y'all need to pay attention, okay? I just wanted to give y'all a quick PSA, and I'll get back to the review right now. And yes, I guess as a matter of fact, this review is now gonna be longer because I had to give y'all a little bit of a story time. But anyway, we're all resolved. Everything's all good. Don't fall for those type of scams. Okay. All right. So back to the review. So Larsa and Lisa, they do end up patching it up with Jody because Larsa does eventually apologize to Jody. And everything seems to be all as well. Now, will this last forever? Probably not. Can Larsa be trusted? No, but we already know how this show goes. And Larsa needed a storyline, and essentially Lisa was her storyline. So next season, for her to stay on the show, she's probably going to start an issue with someone else, because that is what Larsa does, because she doesn't want to talk about her own life. So yeah. Anyway, that's kind of all that happens there. Next, the next segment, because we're back on stage, we talk about Gertie and her cancer journey, her life after cancer, and then how she ended up in the United States and her still having trauma behind that. Now, what bothered me about this season as well as this reunion, I want to know more about Gertie's cancer journey after cancer. I really want to know that. As someone who's never had cancer, I just wanted to know what is it like for life after cancer, and I guess I'm not going to know that because we didn't get to it. Because, you had these women not giving her any grace, making things about them. And then from there, as she's talking about how she ended up in this country and how she felt isolated, how she felt alone, and how basically the issue with Julia reignited those feelings. Julia in the background, as all this is happening, she just has this nasty look on her face, like just this look of hate and disgust. And then she's like, and she apologizes again. And I'm like, Julia, how are you still making this about you when this is a Gertie segment? And I think she was just doing that to save face or whatever, but I don't know. I don't like it. I think it's just all disgusting. I think it's all gross. And it was quite annoying, honestly. But that's kind of what happened here. And I wish we could have gotten to like a little bit of a heavier conversation where we have some of the other women sharing how they got here, because this is a rare cast where this is a lot of these women's commonality. But instead, we made it seem like Gertie's the only one that went through these things, and we didn't go over. I don't know. This could have been more. A lot of the segments fell short to me in this third part because it could have been more, and the parts and the things that didn't matter went on too long. And that was really kind of how I felt about most of this reunion. Part 2 was clearly the star of the show. Part 2, honestly, Adriana carried the whole entire reunion. If Adriana was not on this show, and if Adriana didn't do what she did in the second part of the reunion, it would have been a flop. This reunion would have been a complete flop without Adriana. And and also it has a lot to do with because the producers are doing what they do and they're super biased. But anyway, moving on. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, then from there, the next segment, we're not going to spend that much time on the adoption. That's what we talk about. Julia's adoption, her kids talking to her, not talking to her. One of her kids are talking to her, the other one still isn't. And I don't believe any of it because I don't know if that's the reason why these girls are not talking to her. We don't know that. We're getting all this from her perspective, and Julia has been proven to be non-trustworthy. And honestly, I have questions about that adoption just based off of, I don't know if any of y'all follow social media, but apparently one of the social workers that helped with the adoption has been taunting Gertie on social media. And it's just like, this is giving me flags of like, did y'all even adopt from a legit place? I have a lot of questions with that. And I have a lot of concern. I mean, we already knew I had concerns about the kids, but now I really have the concerns. And why did you change your names to like, I feel like she whitewashed her names. And that bothers me too. And so they went through this segment saying that Martina's younger, happier, this, that, and this, and respectfully, I don't care how Martina's doing. I don't. I know a lot of y'all think she's a tennis legend, but my tennis legends are Venus and Serena. It's really Venus for me. Serena, yes, she has accolades, but behind the scenes, Venus has been doing the work and she's still playing. My car is named after Venus. I played tennis as a little girl because of Venus. And we're in the same age group for the most part. She's a little bit older. Both of them are a little bit older than me, but we're all in our 40s. So we're in the same age range. Like my dad and I used to play tennis together, and I just always would envision us like being like, you know, he's like, my dad's like Richard, and like, but not quite like that, because I already knew he was a very extreme case of that. And I did not love tennis like that for real, but it was enough where I played as a little girl. So yeah, they're my legends. They're the only legends I recognize. There are other legends, let's be so for real, but like, yeah, anyway, moving on. Okay, these next couple of segments, it really was so that Marisol can have a moment. And honestly, the moment that she got was not that great, because for one, we're talking about Elsa, Mama Elsa. Apparently, she's finally selling the house. Okay. And then we talk about Marisol and her marriage to Steve, given Lavender. Okay. And then from there, after that, then we talk about her being manipulative. And we got into it, but we didn't get into it enough. Not enough. I think she got away scot-free. And I forgot who asked about it. Oh, I love it. Someone asked about the Dr. Nicole thing of it all, with Dr. Nicole claiming that Marisol hired private investigators to follow her around. And Marisol's response was, prove it, which tells me you did that. That told me everything I need to know. She actually did do that. Which, honestly, when Dr. Nicole said that and it like kind of went viral on social media, I believed it immediately, because why would Dr. Nicole lie about it? And also, too, for those who don't realize this, Marisol's the reason why Dr. Nicole stepped away from the show. She didn't get fired. She stepped away because of Marisol and what she was doing, which was basically harassing her behind the scenes. Which is why I feel the way I do, and I really want Marisol off this show so that Dr. Nicole can come back and we could have a nice balance. We'll still have the conflict. Enough of these women are polarizing enough where we'll have conflict, but it won't be as nasty as it is. Like this hazing, this bullying. Basically the same thing that they were trying to do Stephanie, I know not everyone believes that was the same thing that she was trying to do, but it was the same thing she was trying to do. The difference is Stephanie doesn't come off as friendly, so you don't view it the same way. But they literally were doing the same thing to Stephanie. And the reason why Adriana beefs with Marisol is because Adriana has been calling this out for years, because Marisol's been doing this since before the reboot. She's been doing this whole time. Like, because she really thinks she's Nene on this show. She thinks she's Nene of this show. Anyway. But then Stephanie co-signs with what, Adriana has been saying, and about, Marisol being manipulative. Which I'm glad, because Stephanie was like, yeah, I don't trust her. And then this question did come up about Stephanie. They were having the conversation if anyone in this group is a safe space. And Stephanie at this moment, because she's new, which I get it, she doesn't feel like anyone on this show is a safe space. And that's sad. I think eventually, though, I think she's going to turn a corner and realize she does have a safe space as Gertie. And then if Dr. Nicole comes back, she'll have that as a safe space. And I think also Lisa would be a safe space. But some of these other women, and then even to a certain degree, Adriana could be a safe space. I think the other side of the couch, absolutely not. None of them are safe space. Because one side of the couch is really trying to be friends on the show and actually have organic relationships. And the other side of the couch is playing housewives. They're cosplaying as housewives. And full disclosure, I don't think Stephanie and Larsa's friendship is going to last much longer. I think next season we're going to see the breakdown of that friendship. Yep. Anyway. So then we then get back to the subject of the Ratchet thing, the Ratchet versus Wretched thing. And let's talk about that real quick. So with this Ratchet versus Wretched thing, basically Kiki was still doing what she's been doing this whole entire time, you know, trying to put the blame, you know what, honestly, Kiki at this point, I'm sorry, Kiki just really disappointed me this reunion. But I will say this part she kind of did finally was like, yeah, I found it messed up that, you know, you both behind my back decide to think you're going to clean it up. So Kiki is like kind of looking at Marisol kind of funny now, but it's not enough from her to like not leave that side. She's going to stay on that side, clearly. But she at least did call it out, like, yeah, that was kind of strange from you, Marisol. And Marisol gives like this weak apology about it. And Adriana was like, I meant wretched the whole entire time. I just said the wrong word. And honestly, by the definition of what Adriana said, it did seem like she meant wretched. She said ratchet, but she meant wretched. And she's like, no, I meant that based off the definition. And even like, you know, Gertie was like, yeah, because her saying ratchet doesn't even make any sense. And Kiki, girl, you and your, I don't know, your explanations don't even make sense. I don't think you realize that none of your explanations make sense. Because she's thinking, and from Kiki's standpoint, she's still saying like, well, that just sounds crazy that someone her age would ever even say ratchet. I think you're trying to sound cool or whatever. And I'm like, no. Adriana doesn't need to sound cool. Adriana's cool on her own. Adriana's that girl. Adriana is who Marisol wished she was. Okay? Let's be so for real. She's the only one that's been on every single season of Miami, by the way. Adriana has. She's the only one. She's her. Anyway. So, and then they talk about, and then Kiki gave a weak excuse of why she ran out of the party after what happened. And the thing is, I'm just so sick of Kiki. I just can't with her. And Marisol, when it came to this whole entire back and forth thing, it went from them talking about Marisol and Marisol's involvement and how manipulative she is to all of a sudden now it's Adriana versus Kiki now. And it's just like Marisol got away with everything that she did scot-free, even though she was the one who pretty much did everything. And I'm just like, I hope next season, if Marisol is back, which I don't really want her back, I hope that she gets what she, you know, gets her comeuppance. And then at the end, they do their whole thing where they're like, what they learned this season, yada, yada, yada. And they kind of do also mention to Lisa how much she has grown this season, which she has. You could tell the therapy is working and she's actually getting help legitimately. And then Gertie used the opportunity to plug her book, as she should. Especially how dirty they did her at this reunion. She better get something out of this reunion, so she plugged her book. And then they toast at the very end some mojitos, and that was pretty much the review. Now, how would I view this? What I want to do for a change? Clearly, I want Marisol gone. If they insist in thrusting Julia upon us again, which I don't want them to, but unfortunately, I think the second part of the reunion kind of saved her job. I want her to get her comeuppance and then not come back after that. They need to close the chapter fully. But I don't see that happening. I think the next storyline will be Martina divorcing her. Because I think that actually might happen, actually. So I think Julia secured her spot. She wants to be on this show so bad, she decides she's going to end her marriage by staying on the show. I mean, you like it, I love it, but that's wild to me. But, I mean, allegedly that's a similar thing that Alexia did. She chose the show over her man Todd. So is it really that surprising? No. Who else? Kiki can go. There's no purpose for her on the show. And I already said Marisol can go. Stephanie, yes, she should stay. Gertie, I want her to stay, but I only want her to stay if Dr. Nicole comes back. If Dr. Nicole doesn't come back, then she needs to go too. But I think that's the other reason why I really want Marisol to go, because I think if Marisol goes, Dr. Nicole will come back, and then Gertie and then we can see Dr. Nicole and Gertie Kiki and have them a time, and it'll be great. That's kind of what I want. And I would like to see I would love to see Dr. Nicole, Gertie, and Stephanie, that dynamic. I would love to see that. I would love to see the other side of the couch, like the non-mean girl side of the couch, have more people than that side of the couch. That's what I would love. I think that would be like, I think it will just be more of an organic show that way. Larsa, we need a villain. Keep her. Plus, she's starting to look like Mama Elsa anyway, so just keep her on the show. I mean, I'm not right. Alexia, keep her on the show because I love seeing Frankie. And she's very Miami. Adriana, of course. I know Adriana doesn't want to be full-time, but dang it, I kind of want her to be full-time. But she doesn't need to be. They need to keep it the way they keep it. I think it'll be better that way. Because I don't really want Adriana to be in the hot seat more than she already was. I think it would have been much worse if she was full-time. So yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Cause I'm trying to think, was there anyone? Oh, Lisa. Of course, keep Lisa. Always keep Lisa. Lisa's good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. That's kind of my thoughts on the show and everything. But anyway, let me know what you think about this review. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. It's your girl, Shara, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. I will see you next time. Bye.